What's up, YouTube? Today I want to share with you how I'm tracking habits in 2019. I've tried or I've wanted to track habits for a number of years, but everything I used ended up not working for me. Journals would end up underneath my bed, never looked at again. Apps I'd forget about for a while, then try to come back to and have like 30 days of habits to put back in, and so I just give up on that. So I started using a service in 2018, and I actually was able to stick with it for the entire year, which for me is amazing because usually I just start something and don't stick with it. And so I've been really happy with the results and the data and the ability to customize, but most importantly the fact that I've been sticking with it. And the best part about it is that it's free and anyone can use it, anyone can try it. So I think could be a really powerful tool for people who are looking into getting into tracking their habits in 2019. So without further ado, if you haven't already guessed, the tracking service I'm using is Google Sheets. So there are two features that I wanted to mention about this as compared to other apps that you might use that I think really make it something you should consider. So first things first, it's customizable. So if there's something you start tracking, like I started tracking a lot of things at the beginning of the year and I slowly whittled it down to a few things. So every month I would change the things I was tracking, and this was really easy. So I just changed the columns from yoga to meditation or vice versa, and voila, I have a new column. The other feature is that, and this is really important, when you miss a day or 2 days or 3 days, it's really easy to go back in and quickly fill in all the data. I've used apps before, and I've even tried new apps this year where I was looking at it and it looks great. It's a beautiful app. It's got fancy analytics and stuff like that and nice visuals. But if you miss 4 days, then you have to go back to each individual day and enter your data and, try to remember what you did and then scroll in, scroll out. It's a ton of mouse clicking, and maybe I'm just really lazy, but I kind of suspect everyone else is too. And for me, just the ability to log in, you're right there. You have all the data at your fingertips. If you miss 4 days, it's pretty quick to just go in row by row and try to remember what you did. And you've updated your habit tracking sheet in under 5 minutes. Whereas if you miss 4 days on a lot of these apps, you're going to have to spend 30 minutes going in, redoing your habits, and yeah, it's just a lot more time. So that's, I think, is what's kept me in compliance with it. In other words, just the reason I've been able to stick to it. And that's been really powerful. Now I'm going to dive into a little bit of the formatting and the actual structure of the sheet that I use. But if you want to just skip over that and just go check it out right now, you can go to my website, petercook.blog. There'll be a link in the description. And you can download it or copy it there yourself. So let's dive in and look at it now. We have in column A just the plain date. I have a little indicator here showing that displays what the current date is. In the second column, it's just day of the week. Just good to know where I am because sometimes you don't know the date. And then over here in columns C, D, and E, just the things that I'm tracking. So I'm tracking fasting hours daily. I'm tracking exercise, and I'm tracking the number of alcoholic drinks per day that I have. Now, I used to track a whole host of other things, and I just found that the more I had to track, the less likely I was to keep up with it and the more discouraged I'd get. So through a process of trial and error over many months, I decided that these are the most important things for me. But if you decide that something's important for you, it's really easy to just add another column in here and change things up. So I've got these 3 things, and then just a column for notes where I can write things like, fell off the horse, need to do better about planning, and just remind myself about what I'm going to do to improve my performance on these measures. Then at the bottom of the spreadsheet, I've got this, what I call the scoreboard. So this just looks at essentially a current amount of habits done versus the target I want to do for the month. So how many days over 17 hours have I done? Goes in this column, for this row right here. I've done 11 fasts over 17 hours this month. There are 15 months elapsed thus far there's 15 days elapsed thus far for the month. And I've done 11 fasts, and my target is 11 fasts. So current versus target is 0. I'm right on target for the month thus far. In terms of exercise, I've exercised 4 days this month. There's been 15 days in the month. I should be hitting 8 days of exercise thus far for the month. So I am 4 days behind in terms of exercise. Now, this column for alcoholic drinks per day is a little bit different because I was trying to do a dry January this month. So I've put some different formulas in here to try to track this in a different way. I'm not going to get into the details, but the point is, if you're good at Excel or you just have basic skills, you can modify the way I've done things here very easily, and even modify your own sheet, which is something that's been really helpful for me as I've sort of iterated my way through using the sheet. So yes, you could use Excel just as easily, but I find Google Sheets is just that slight difference in ease of use based on where my email is located makes it a better tool. So if you want to go ahead and use Excel, more power to you. But I think Google Sheets being the original web-based sheet program, there's a case to be made for why it might be slightly better than Excel. Anyway, doesn't matter, whatever you want to use, whatever works for you is what you should use. So the only downside to recommending this is that you need to know how to use a spreadsheet. But I think, it's 2019. These aren't VLOOKUPs or anything too complicated that you have to do. So if you don't know how to use a spreadsheet, what a good excuse to go out there and learn to use one, even if it's in a very basic way. Because, for one reason or another in life, you'll probably have to use a spreadsheet one day. So that could be a stumbling block, but I think it's definitely something that if you're serious about tracking your habits, you should think about surmounting. So that's it. Again, I'm going to put a link in the description. Check it out. If you like it, let me know. If you want to see more stuff about habits, more stuff about the habits that I'm tracking specifically, let me know, because I'm thinking about doing a video like that. Thanks for watching. Hope it was enjoyable. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, subscribe. Cheers.